Alright guys, are we at the end or the start of the bull market? This is the question everyone most probably has. Why? Because this is, at the moment, we are at the new all-time high of Bitcoin. And when you're looking online at every single platform, what do we see? We see people posting about crazy new all-time highs. We see people posting about that they made crazy profits. So I'm going to explain to you exactly in this video what my vision is of this. Now, why am I making this video? At the end of the day, in 2021, I can show you here. Let me share my screen. Boom. When we're looking at this, I was able to short it when everyone was screaming that we were going to see a crazy new all-time high. I was able to short it all the way towards here. Right here, I started with my social media and I posted that I'm going to long all the way from this level towards here. Besides this, I did some public trades as well, like for example, shorting the previous top all the way towards here and longing from that level towards here as well. And one of my last plays is this right here. Let me see. Yeah. Boom. One of the last plays that I did publicly as well is longing it from this place right here all the way towards the level that we currently are at. Now, the big question is the all-time high. What are we looking at? Okay, I want you to understand one thing, and that is when you are looking at trading and when you're looking at investing in general, one of the most important things to do, in my opinion, is to learn to cut out the noise. One of the biggest problems at the moment is that people don't know how to actually trade for themselves. But we're living in a moment when everyone is just watching other people on social media and they are relying on other people's information. So what happens is they will look at other people, their posts and think, okay, he just bought a new Lamborghini, so he most probably knows what he's doing. So I'm just going to listen to him without doing any research. Unfortunately, this is one of the biggest reasons why people lose money in the space, and especially at levels like these that we are currently at. Right here, one of the biggest problems is people, they see BTC and they think, okay, if BTC goes up, this means that the entire crypto space is going up. Now, what I want you to understand, this is not the reality. Not anymore. Back in the days, yes, this was, but right now, this is not the case anymore. How I explain this to my group is very simple. You need to see it like a cup. So we have one cup here, and then we have one cup here, and then we have one cup here, we have one cup here, we have one cup here, and we have one cup here. And this is basically the entire crypto space. Now, how I want you to view it is this is Bitcoin, okay? This is the two other coins that are quite big, let's say Ethereum, and there we have Solana, and from there on, the money goes into other cups. Now, every single cup right here has two holes. So we have a hole right here and we have a hole right here. We always are used that there goes money into this cup and that it directly flows into the markets like this. This is something that we are used to. Now, what is happening right now is Bitcoin has an ETF, what basically brings a lot of money into Bitcoin, what gives it an inflated price, but because it's not on chain anymore like usual, we don't have these holes anymore as big as they used to be. Now it's just two little dots, where the water slows it goes very slow into the other ones, okay? Almost leaving the cups empty right here. So when you're looking at this, yes, Bitcoin is almost at another all-time high, but what I want you to do is I want you to put it into perspective. When you're looking at the markets, is everything actually that crazy as it seems? Just for reference, when we're taking a look at ETH, is this really a bull market like we know it? No. When you're looking at a bull market how we know it, it's BTC goes up a little bit, and then you already have ETH making very explosive moves. Especially new all-time highs. When you're looking at Solana, exactly the same thing. Now, these are the three majors, okay? So again, when we're looking at it from this perspective, these are the two that should be the closest already towards BTC. Now, when we look at it from this perspective, right here, look, most big altcoins currently are not even close to their previous all-time high. That's what I want you to understand. When you're looking at AVAX, a very, very big token in the crypto space, look at this. It has 4x to do before it's actually going towards a all-time high. When you're looking at tokens like Injective, for example, just for reference, guys, 3.5x, okay? When we are taking a look at, for example, tokens like Tron. Oh, wait. Same thing, okay? When you're looking at almost every single token, it still has quite some time. And especially when I'm looking at this price action here, this is not bull market price action. So what I want you to understand is that at the end of the day, Bitcoin is going pretty hard because it has a very inflated price because of this mechanism, okay? It's not anymore flowing into the markets like we are used to. This makes a lot of people very confused. Now, what I want you to understand, when you're looking at an actual all-time high, and why I say this is the moment where a lot of people mess up, is because they think, okay, Bitcoin is at an all-time high, so this means now that the market will go towards a crazy pump, and now we are going to see the craziest new highs of the market. Is it? When you're looking at every single time when it created a new all-time high, so for example, from this level to this level was a 12% pump. In order to make that 12% pump, it was still building up volume for almost 55 days, okay? Well, what I want you to understand, every single time before Bitcoin makes a big new all-time high, it has a couple of months almost of building up volume before it goes. For example, this one, exactly the same thing. This one went all the way from 244 days towards a new all-time high. When you're looking at this one, for example, okay, right here, it doesn't seem like a lot, but into perspective, around still 35 days before it actually went towards an all-time high. Now, what happened when we created ranges? Again, if you don't know what ranges are, my entire channel is basically built on what I do. I trade the markets in ranges. If you like to know more about this, just go to my free school where I literally explain everything about ranges. If you want to do it with me, don't forget to book in a call below this video, okay? What I want you to understand, the only reason why I was able in 2021 to short the markets is because I looked at a range. When you were looking at the markets here, everyone was screaming Bitcoin is going to 100K, Bitcoin is going to 100K. Based on what? First of all, 100K, the level itself was based on absolutely nothing. Why? Bitcoin never ever seen 100K. So this means that it's uncharted price territory. So that's, in my opinion, the territory where you really cannot actually say, okay, it's going to this and this and this level. I don't like to play things in uncharted territory. Why? Because it's just guesswork, okay? When you're looking at this, this is exactly what I said here as well. Everyone online, newspapers and all of the stuff, they were screaming, this is going to be the future and this and this and this. At the end of the day, it reclaimed back inside of the range and there we go, okay? Exactly the same at this level here. The moment when everyone was screaming, okay, now we're going to 12K, I asked based on what? Based on what are we going to 12K? Because we first have a couple of levels that we need to go to first in order to say, okay, we are going to 12K. Now, what I want you to understand, and please write this down. Don't watch content and just treating it like almost Netflix. If you're watching content, make sure you're doing it in the right way by actually looking at, okay, I want to learn something from this and I want to use the knowledge in the right way. When you're looking at trading, at the end of the day, it's about making money and not about being right. And this is the reason why a lot of people lose money. They want to be the guy who is always right instead of the guy who always makes money. I can tell you one thing, once you're focusing on making money instead of being right, most of the time you will make more money, okay? So that's exactly what I did here. I said, listen, I don't have to be the guy who called that BTC is going to 100K. I just want to see okay, what does the range tell me and how can I play this? And this is the reason why I was able to short it here and when I was able to long it right here. On my Instagram, I showed multiple times the orders that I did, where I literally was the guy who exactly closed my my short exactly on this level, okay? Pinpoint. Now, when you're looking at this, the only reason why I was able to do this in a pinpoint way is because of ranges. So basically the most important support and resistance levels in the chart. Now, when you're looking at this is exactly the same of what we are going through right now with these kind of levels here. I'm not completely bearish. I want you to understand, I never ever think in a bull or in a bear market, okay? I just think in ranges. So I don't like to call it bullish or bearish as well. How I like to view it is where are we currently in the range. For me, it's very simple. This green run here is the range, and we are currently at the top of the range, okay? When I'm looking at this, we are reclaiming back inside of the range. I am a Fibonacci trader mixed up with range trading. So I have basically two important things for me that I see here. One, we reclaimed back into the previous range, okay? So we're not at an all-time high anymore. Besides this, we now broke through one of my important FIB levels. Red is basically fast move up. This is medium move up. And this one is last resort. If it breaks this, full change in structure. Now, when I'm looking at this, for me, that we already closed below red is a sign of that the price is slowing down. For the people who are watching my Instagram, you could have seen that the last 4 days, I have already said, listen, I'm not going to long anything since the price is slowing down heavily. What happened is, from here, we went down quite heavily. And on BTC, that's 4%. You might think, okay, that's not a lot. What I want you to see is that when you're looking at a Solana, it's around ETH, it's around 7%. When you're looking at this, Solana, it's around 10%. When you're looking at other altcoins, like for example, TON, 7%. Most of the market currently is down. Now, why is this? This is because everything at the moment follows BTC. Here, 10.3% on AVAX. Everything at the moment follows BTC. So BTC at the moment for me is my main mover. The only thing, if I want to be bullish, so if we break above this level here, okay, if we break above this range here, then I will look for potential longs. Okay, again, I'm not bearish or bullish. I'm just playing with what I get. For now, if we stay below this range here, I will look for potential shorts. If we break above this here, I will look for potential longs. At the end of the day, I still have to pay my rent. How do I pay my rent? By playing the range and not the emotions. When I'm looking at this, longing BTC right here doesn't make a lot of sense. Why? Because BTC goes into uncharted territory. Again, it goes into territory of a place where I cannot see where I have to exit. Okay? Understand this. An entry is important, but an exit point is almost more important. The entire reason why I started range trading and not just stick to FIB trading is because FIBs were perfect for entries, okay? And this might sound very relatable for a lot of people watching. You might have a strategy now where your entries are perfect, okay? Every single time you enter at the right time. But when you're looking at your exits, that is where it goes wrong. I had exactly the same thing. With my FIBs, I always had the perfect entries. But the exits, guesswork. Exactly the same what will happen to every even skilled trader in uncharted price territory. So I'm not looking to place it towards the upside. Why? Because from this perspective, yes, the risk may be very easy to spot. Why? Because you have previous levels to put your stop below. But the reward, no one knows. So this means that it's basically right here, okay? It's impossible to actually trade. Or let's say, for example, the last known level is here. This doesn't make a lot of sense. Now you can ask, okay, Camille, what are you doing in this case? Let's say BTC gives me the right triggers here to long above this level here. What am I going to do? I'm not going to play it on BTC, but what you have just learned, everything at the moment is following BTC. The moment when you have a full-blown bull market is the moment when the prices detach from BTC. In shaky moments like these, everything clinches to BTC and it makes the same price structure. So when you're looking at this, for me, what am I going to do? I'm going to look at tokens like, for example, let's say AVAX, that are in older ranges, okay, that still have a lot of price territory that it needs to go through first before it goes into uncharted price territory. So when I'm looking at AVAX, AVAX has a lot of upcoming ranges, and I'm talking here to here, I'm talking here to here, I'm talking here to here, I'm talking here to here. AVAX has so many upcoming price ranges that it needs to go to first before it goes into uncharted price territory, what leaves me with a lot of moments that I can actually do something in the right way. When I'm looking at literally almost every token, when you're looking at Uni, for example, same thing. When you're looking at Cake, so BNB, for example, went absolutely crazy, just to show you. When you're looking at Cake, same thing. Look, it has so many previous levels that it still needs to go through first that I can play instead of BTC that gives me absolutely no clarity, okay? Again, one of the most important things for you to understand at this moment is one, you don't want to be relying on anyone else at the moment, because the only reason why they are going to hype you up that there is a new bull market is because they most probably can dump their tokens on you again. Okay, they get paid by projects. They want you to invest in those projects so they get money and they get money and they can pay their rent. They're marketers, not traders. What I want you to understand from a trader's perspective, please, the entire reason why I made this channel is to show you the reality of day trading. Okay, I'm literally talking to my 18-year-old self, hoping that he doesn't make the stupid mistakes that I've made. Okay. When I'm looking at this, I want you to understand, you need to understand these levels before you approach the market. If you're just randomly going to shoot at the markets because you think, yeah, BTC made the right all-time high, so now I'm going to just put a lot of money into the markets, you clearly didn't understand this entire structure here. What's the number one thing to understand when you're looking in the markets as a whole? Okay, understanding the money flow of Bitcoin at the moment is everything. If you don't understand this simple fact, what are you even doing in the markets? Okay, most people they just move into the markets because they think, yeah, and I want to reach the destination of this lifestyle very quickly. Trading seems the easiest way. Guys, it's not. It's a hard one. But at the end of the day, it's the highest paying skill in the world. So what do you expect? It won't come easy. When you're looking at a doctor before he gets paid, 9 years of college. When you're looking at a lawyer, 8 years. Why do you think that the highest paying skill in the world, you can just copy trade someone? You can't. Okay? Why do you think you can easily do it in 30 days? You can't. I know that you want to win, but you need to deserve to win. And this is something that you need to understand. Everyone wants to be a champion until it comes down to what champions do. Everyone wants to be a profitable trader until it comes down to what profitable traders do. And that is putting in the actual work. Again, if you want to understand how these markets work, make sure that you put in the time. Again, if you want to do this together, just book in a call below or go to my free school and fuck around yourself. Do whatever you want. The only thing I'm saying is make sure that you can look at the markets in a way that gives you clarity. Okay? Most people at the moment, they cannot look at the markets with a clear perspective. Why? Because they don't know what they are looking at. They see all of these candles and the only thing they have in their mind is, okay, I need to have an AP quickly. No, first you need to understand what you're actually looking at. This is the reason why it's easy for those people to actually influence you. because you don't know what you're doing. You're feeling overwhelmed, and that's why you just randomly listen to someone. Don't do this, because in this market, the key thing is that you understand what you're doing yourself. Again, you're not here to be right. You're here to make money. So this means as well that this is the reason for me, for example, why I trade ranges. At the end of the day, if it gives me the short triggers here, I will play it from here to here to here. I made money here. Do I have to long it from here to here? All fine. As a trader, you need to be flexible. Never stick to a bias. The entire bull and the bear thing, keep it away. Just for reference. Okay? Just for reference. People call stuff a bull and a bear market, right? Now ask yourself, when in this area here, did people call this a bull market? Okay? Bear market, 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 bear market. Even here, yeah, this is not the real bull market yet, because we didn't see 100K. So this is not a bull market, so I will wait. So you've waited on a 500% move. Same goes for here. Boom. When do they call the bear market? No one knows. Same goes for here. Is this still not a bull market? No, I'm waiting. Oh yeah, now we are close to an all-time high, so this means that from here we will straight up go to 100K, so let me deploy all of my cash into it. And then they're going to talk again. Yeah, no, but it's normal for it to have a dip. Yeah, no, it's normal. Maybe it's a bear market. When did they find out? 74% down. All of the alts, 99% down. This entire move, you could have shorted it. You most probably didn't. Why? Because you were too ignorant and you stick to a bias. Exactly the same thing will happen here if you're not going to take the charts into your own hands. Take accountability and understand, if I'm not going to learn this myself, what are you going to do? Again, when I'm currently looking at the markets, and if I call it a bull or a bear market, I never ever will do that. The only thing I see is this is the range here. What did I say here? I said, and I literally did it on my Instagram and in my free school. I said, listen, right here, I would look for shorts today. What happened is we got a full down move. Again, made money on this entire move instead of waiting, okay? Exactly the same thing by just understanding money flow right here. Exactly the same thing. This entire move, and again, it was all the way from here. Again, if you don't believe me, don't worry, you can go to my free school and you can literally see that I did everything live. So before this happened, okay? Before this entire move happened, I mentioned it in my free school, this is going to happen and I don't see this as a likely option. What happened? 2 days after, boom, okay? This is not because I have some magic ball, but this is because I have brains and I used my time right in order to learn this, to learn the market structure, something you can do as well. Same goes for this one. Again, what am I seeing? If right here I will get the right triggers to actually short it down, I will short it towards here. Do I get the triggers here to play it towards this level? I will. Do I get the triggers to long it to here? Again, I won't long BTC. I will look at all of the other tokens in order to actually play it. Okay? Now guys, I hope that you liked this update. If you like these kind of live streams, please just let me know on my Instagram, in my DM. I respond to everything, so let me know if you watched it and if you liked it. Besides this, again, if you want to work together, you and me, just book in a call below. If you want to see more about the ranges and how you can build them yourself, just go to my free school. Again, I hope you liked this. This was my first live stream in exactly 6 months, okay? So I hope you liked it. I will see you all maybe